I'd love to pound the table on Nvidia, but I still think we need to wait for the hot money to come out of that one. Too many summer soldiers and sunshine patriots, thank you, Thomas Paine, who need to wave the white flag before the stock can really bottom. I heard it today called no man's land. I like that. Besides, you can find bigger discounts than Nvidia among the other chip makers. First, there's AMD, an on again, off again charitable trust holding. By the way, we'll be talking about it on Thursday at our monthly meeting. And it's now on because we started buying some of it when it sold off in July. AMD actually began its slide in March and is now down close to 40% from its highs. It's the third worst pullback of any chip maker in the S&P 500. Stock's down 26% just from its from the lower high on July 10th, and even after rebounding a few bucks today. Do you know that AMD is down? Do you know that it's red for the year? Down for the year. Maybe we came in a little too early for the charitable trust, but we've added the position on the way down because it's not like the fundamental story has changed, and that's what we do. While Nvidia is currently unrivaled in the red-hot AI infrastructure space, AMD's in second place. It's not a close second, but there's nobody in third. And they're the only company on Earth that stands a chance of catching up to the in not-too-distant future, although everyone's pretty understanding the lead that Nvidia has.
Hold on to your seats, folks. There's a monumental wave crashing through the stock market, and it's all about the latest maneuver in the colossal duel between AMD and Nvidia. The tech world has been buzzing for months, if not years, about the fierce competition between these industry titans in the realm of artificial intelligence. Now, with AMD's recent acquisition of ZT Systems, speculation has hit an all-time high. Everyone is asking the same question. Could this strategic move finally tip the scales, allowing AMD to ascend the AI throne? Or is Nvidia too far ahead to catch? In this comprehensive analysis, we'll unpack every layer of this riveting story, look closely at the data, evaluate the market positions, and help you figure out where your investment loyalties should lie. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Investocracy.
Now, AMD's been rolling out their own high-end chips for AI. Demand's terrific. When AMD unveiled the MI300 last December, it projected $2 billion in sales for 2024. In late January, they raised the product sales to $3.5 billion. In late April, they boosted it to $4 billion. Most recently, in July, they took it at $4.5 billion. What does the market want, for heaven's sake? Really, AMD's latest quarter was pretty good across the board. Modest sales and earnings beat with better than expected guidance for the current quarter. Stock initially jumped 4% on the news. I thought that was right, but that was right before the yen carry trade imploded and the whole market got obliterated. It's like people just forgot that great quarter ever happened. AMD also gets no respect whatsoever for a couple of smart deals they announced over the summer, picking up ZT Systems and Silo AI, bolstering their cloud and AI software exposure, giving them a large number of engineers. Keep in mind, AMD's number 2 in AI because NVIDIA's a well-developed software ecosystem. But these deals will help them close the gap. That's what they need to do. Finally, you'll hear a lot about how Intel's core business is falling apart. But you almost never hear anyone pointing out that this is fantastic for AMD, their closest competitor in the CPU business. They're taking tons of market share in desktops and servers. Now, AMD is expected to earn $5.45 per share next year, with that number growing to $7.24 per share in 2026. But in a few months, 2026 will be next year, at which point the stock will be selling for less than 20 times next year's earnings. I believe in CEO Lisa Su, and I think AMD is a great buy into weakness, and I've got to tell you, that puts it below.
Imagine being at a high-stakes poker game where the chips on the table are billions of dollars and the bets are nothing less than groundbreaking AI capabilities. That's the current scenario between AMD and Nvidia. Folks, let's be frank, Nvidia has been consistently acing it. From exponential growth figures to tech innovations that set the bar high, Nvidia is undeniably the player to beat. On the other hand, AMD has been in what seems like an eternal race to catch up. But there's a new twist in the tale. Their $4.9 billion acquisition of ZT Systems. Could this be the ace up AMD's sleeve? Now, let's dig into some hard data. For the second quarter, AMD's data center division achieved a record revenue of $2.8 billion, a stunning 115% year-over-year growth. Cue the applause. This would be an extraordinary feat under normal circumstances. But let's hold that thought, because Nvidia's data center revenue surged by an astronomical 427% year-over-year to reach an earth-shattering $22.6 billion in just the first quarter of its fiscal year 2025. Yes, you heard that right. Those are some staggering numbers, and they put Nvidia in a league of its own. It doesn't take a stock market wizard to see the yawning gap between these two competitors. Nvidia's product portfolio has a firm grasp on the industry's largest customers, and the switching costs involved offer it a moat as formidable as a medieval fortress. Connie, an analyst on Wall Street, tweeted, "AMD can't win the AI race unless they pull a rabbit out of the hat, and even then, Nvidia's moat is gargantuan." This encapsulates the uphill battle AMD faces as it strives to compete in a field dominated by Nvidia. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with Nvidia's or AMD's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to the video.
For the last couple months, Wall Street learned to love to hate the chip stocks. The whole group's down almost 22% from its highs on July 11th, as represented by the SMH. That's a key semiconductor ETF. Many individual names have come down even harder from their highs. Intel is off a staggering 63%. Micron down 45%. AMD's lost almost 40%, just to name the most egregious examples. Now, some of that's simply because the chip stocks got overheated. While the SMH may be down 22% from its highs, it's still up over 25% year-to-date, comfortably outperforming the SP 500. They rallied too far, too fast, need to come in. On top of that, you've got these pervasive worries about AI spend. For the past few months, we've been hearing that the companies spending fortunes on AI infrastructure simply aren't seeing enough of a return yet, and they might start dialing back their investment at some point. Now, I don't see much evidence of this, though. The bears will point to Nvidia's failure to report a spectacular revenue beat, but that only happened because their new AI chip Blackwell got delayed. They are having trouble producing it at scale. That's totally reasonable. But they basically solved the problem now. Supply problem, not a demand problem. Demand is off the charts.
To understand the full impact of AMD's bold move, consider the broader landscape of the AI sector. Historically, acquisitions in the tech realm can either catapult a company to new heights or drag it down into the doldrums of integration challenges and unmet promises. The AI sector is no different. With ZT Systems, AMD has potentially unlocked new streams of innovation and capabilities, particularly in AI-driven data centers. But translating that potential into tangible market gains is where the real challenge lies. Nvidia, for its part, has not been sitting idle. The company is heavily investing in expanding its AI capabilities, driving forward initiatives in autonomous driving, healthcare, and even language processing models. Every day, Nvidia's research and development (R&D) team are pushing boundaries, ensuring they remain at the cutting edge of AI technology. The sentiment of the market often reflects not just present realities but future expectations. Analysts are keenly watching how AMD integrates ZT Systems, looking for early indicators of success or potential pitfalls. Market perception can sway stock movements even more than hard financial data, given that investor sentiment often drives market behavior. While revenue figures and growth percentages are the numbers grabbing headlines, a deeper dive into financial health provides a more nuanced picture. AMD's balance sheet shows a company with growing debt levels, partly due to its recent acquisition spree, but with the potential for significant revenue boosts if the new integrations succeed. Nvidia, by contrast, enjoys a relatively clean balance sheet with robust cash reserves, providing a cushion to continue its aggressive R&D and market expansion strategies without the same financial risks. Investor focus will undoubtedly be on upcoming earnings calls where executives from both companies will lay out their visions and provide critical updates. These moments can be game changers, realigning market sentiments and affecting stock prices in significant ways. Another key element to consider is the geopolitical landscape, particularly the ongoing semiconductor supply chain issues and regulatory scrutiny in various markets. These external factors can either boost or hinder the progress of both AMD and Nvidia, adding another layer of complexity to any investment decision. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
So let's check in with Dr. Lisa Su, the chair and CEO of Advanced Micro Devices, get a better sense of what's going on. Dr. Su, welcome back to Main Market.
Jim, it's wonderful to be here with you.
Well, Lisa, I saw you get honored earlier this week. It was a terrific event, Time 100, and you were a featured toaster because you've done so much well. And you said something really caught my ear and attention. You said that we'll look back 10 years from now, and we can't believe what life was like now. Will you tell me what you're seeing 10 years from now that would make it so this seems also pedestrian?
Well, first of all, Jim, great to be here with you. And I have to say, I really do believe, we talk a lot about AI, but we're just really at the beginning of understanding what AI can do for us. And, if you take a step back, like I've been in this industry for like over 30 years. And we've seen, a lot of interesting technology. I mean, we saw cloud, we saw mobile, we saw PCs, these were all great technologies. But AI is something different because it makes everything better in terms of, it makes our businesses, more productive. It makes our engineers more productive. It makes researchers more productive. And it helps us really, I can see a world where AI really helps us solve really some of the world's toughest problems, and that's why I say it was a nice event on a Monday night. It was one of those events where you could see, a decade from now, nobody's going to be asking what was the ROI on AI. They're going to say that AI is part of our life. It's how we live. It's how we run our businesses. It's how we do our research. It's how we teach our kids. That's the world that I see.
Well, what do you say to people right now who are watching who just say, you know what, that's just businesses talking to businesses. I don't see it impacting my life at all.
Oh, I beg to disagree. I really believe that AI will impact everyone's lives. It's just starting today. So, let's not be impatient, right? Tech trends are meant to play out over years, not over months. We've only been in this, let's call it, chat GPT world for maybe like 18 months. We're all learning. It's fun. We all use it. We use it to make ourselves, to answer questions for us. We use it to help us in sales and marketing. We use it to help us build chips, frankly, in terms of large language models. But now we're going to see it in all aspects of our lives. And, I think of it as, personal assistance. I think of it as education. Probably one of the areas that I'm most excited about is, what we can do in healthcare and what we can do in accelerating research. And, these are things that, if you look at the process that it would take for drug companies to discover new drugs, it might take years.
Right, and most fail. 90% fail.
Exactly. If you could change years to weeks, or days, that's kind of the superpower. And that's just one example. And the beauty of all this is you need the computing, and that's what we do, right? We do all of the foundation of the computing that enables AI to help us in all of these industries. And that's why I'm just so excited about where we are right now.
So, what's the takeaway? If you're placing bets in the stock market, Nvidia seems like the safer horse in this high-stakes race. AMD's recent acquisition might appear to be a game-changer on the surface, but a thorough evaluation based on concrete evidence and hard numbers tells a different story. Nvidia's already high valuation is a testament to the market trust it has earned through consistent performance and groundbreaking innovation. On the other hand, AMD still has a lot to prove before it can become a preferable option over Nvidia. As it stands, Nvidia continues to dominate the AI industry, growing at a phenomenal pace that shows no signs of slowing down. AMD might have potential, but the switch won't flip overnight. For astute investors looking at hard data and market trends, Nvidia likely offers the most promise for your portfolio. But that's just one perspective. What do you think about AMD's bold move? Could their new acquisition be the secret weapon that finally tips the scales in their favor? Drop your thoughts below. Let's keep this conversation going. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia or AMD have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.